gives us really pride to see our work circulated. So for instance, at my school we have something called the Monday Notes, which is pretty much a weekly newsletter. And I was really excited when I got my name in the newsletter for, actually it was being on the team of the Izzy Dizzy Olympics. And that was something where it was kind of a game, and then we also had meet and greet bingo, so I was helping everybody else, so I got my name in the Monday Notes. And so that's really exciting, to get your name mentioned, to get your work in a newsletter. I think that kids really have a feeling of pride when that happens. And so that is one way. And if you let them actually make their own newsletter to be circulated among the students, and that can be really good because it allows them to reach the highest levels of learning. Analysis through reports, surveys, and questionnaires. Synthesis through sharing art, writing, and hypotheses. And evaluation through book reviews and editorials. So when students are able to publish their work, and then they're able to reach these high levels of learning, which we want for our gifted students. Don't limit students, because the sky really is the limit. Ask a variety of leading and open-ended questions. So I know that a lot of the time that, oh, and nice job with the recording. You'll have to send us that. And so a lot of time I notice in classes, then leading questions are probably the major ones that are asked, or questions that have right or wrong answers. And I think that for gifted students this is fine, but they might end up knowing all the answers, and that can get boring after a while. So maybe instead of just asking, when was Catherine of Aragon born, you could ask a question like, Catherine of Aragon traveled from Spain to England to marry a prince she'd never met. How would you have felt in a similar situation? How would you have reacted? So asking students about different scenarios, about their opinion on a topic, allows them to really expand beyond the traditional yes, no, right, wrong. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Make the unnecessarily large smaller. So if a gifted student shows mastery of a topic, compound their assignment. So a lot of times, regular students will need lots of work. They do need to do problems repeatedly in order to understand it, and I think that that's normal. But some students will have already mastered the topic, and so doing lots and lots of problems can be really repetitive. And so compacting gives you a way to make sure that, well, they have mastered the topic, that they are not being bored by the work. So one way to help students master a topic is giving them the hardest first. If a student aces the hardest problems with no problem, no pun intended, they have likely grasped the concept. Would anyone like to guess on this one? Antananarivo is the capital of what country? I'll give you a hint. It's an island nation that begins with an M. Madagascar. Yes, Madagascar. Okay, excellent. It had been rating as past perfect progressive. True or false? This was just hard for me. It might not be for you. And then this one I'm not going to even try to do. I took this straight out of the polynomial section of my math textbook. 2b cubed plus b squared minus 5b plus 3, and then it was something with subtracting and dividing. It was hard. And obviously I am not too gifted in that area, because that was the hardest problem I could find, and I did not do it, so probably compacting my math assignment would not be a good idea. So that gives you an idea of how students are doing. You could also give them one problem for each concept instead of several. If compacting, it can be a good idea to also give a gifted student an independent study project, such as journal entries, mini lessons, or an essay on a topic of their choice. Because if you're compacting and then a gifted student ends up with just like 4 problems and everyone else has 40 or 14, then they will have less to do and they might feel a little bored with their homework. And so you want probably an independent study project. So for instance, my pet, grumpy yellow-brown cat named Persalot, etc. In this way, you keep students from being bored and idle, but at the same time avoid busy work. So instead of just filling out a boring worksheet, then you can do an independent study project. Maybe it involves research or synthesizing information that you've learned. And this helps you really work with gifted students without making too much of giving them too much work that they already know about. Although gifted students may be incredibly mature, they will have the same needs and wants as many of their regular classmates, like appropriate amounts of I cannot pronounce that word, And socialization, that's it, and freedom from too much stress. So as we are giving work to our gifted students, we need to make sure that we do realize their needs and their wants. Working with gifted students, you have the chance to shape the next generation of rocket scientists, lawyers, best-selling authors, corporate executives, acclaimed artists, and much, much more. And that's one of the reasons I think teaching is really cool. It's because we meet so many different kinds of people who grow up to be so many different kinds of things. And technology gives us the chance to share what we learn with others in new, engaging ways. Teaching is the gift you give to students, and giving gifted students new learning is giving yourself the chance to grow. Now I'd like to work together. I want to group you, kind of, so I'll do probably groups of 3. Let's see, 3 there, 3 there, 3 kind of, something like that. And I would like you to discuss among yourselves what you think is the most important skill from today and how you would use it in a classroom.